my name's Andrea, and welcome to Somatic Wise, and especially welcome to the ancient Bristlecone Pine Forest, as you see in front of you. I've come up here today, the day after the summer solstice in 2019, with a couple of friends to visit Earth's oldest living creatures, which are these bristlecone pines. I'm sitting at the base of one right now as I talk to you and overlooking this incredible vista. And it's one of the most beautiful places I've been in my life. So my intent with this video is to share a little bit about this beautiful and sacred place and to raise awareness as to what these ancient creatures are about and what they need from us. The Bristlecone Pines are located on the top of White Mountain, not far from where it splits from the Inyo Mountains, on the eastern side of the Owens Valley, across from the Sierra Nevada, which we can peek at through the trees and across the Owens Valley. The soil is highly alkaline. It's very, very cold and windy up here. And this is where these ancient creatures thrive. They grow so slowly, other trees will outcompete them under normal conditions. But up here, they're basically the only thing, or one of the only things that can live. So they grow here. I think I read that they add an inch of circumference every 100 years, which is an incredibly slow growth rate. Because something in these amazing trees is especially made to survive and thrive and become works of living art in these conditions. Like that. This twistedness is created by these conditions, especially the wind, I think the temperatures, the dryness. The people in the visitor center just informed me that there's no running water up here at all on White Mountain. So these bristlecones can survive extreme winds, extreme cold, and extreme drought, and that is what creates these hard, resiny, twisted forms that you see in the wood that makes them very resilient to disease. So they're specialists for this area. All right, well, here's a bristlecone. Can't zoom with one hand. But as I slowly move it closer to the camera, you can see that the bristlecones have these little spiky things on the end, which gives them their common name. Their Latin name is Pinus longaeva, and I'm probably bungling the pronunciation, but it's a reference to their long life. And here, I think, is the donor of this beautiful cone, which I'm going to sit back where I found it so as not to remove or desecrate the landscape in any way. So here's my little sit spot, and I'll add that this is a designated parking area. I guess you could say one of the areas that's kind of sacrificed for people to walk around. And so as I walk around, I'm being very mindful where I place my feet, so as not to squish little plants and not to grind stones, causing further erosion. Like that. Trying to step where it looks like people have stepped before, but not crushing anything. That's one of the things they mentioned at this, there's my sit spot. That's one of the things they mentioned at the visitor center, is making sure to stay on trails and and not to cause erosion. And I would add not to tromp on these so many little bits of native grasses and plant life. And I even saw some tiny little spiders up here. There's a whole little ecosystem under our feet. So, and here's some glass I'm going to pick up. And I'll add that my intent is not to shame at all, but to offer some education. And we've all been guilty at times of not being mindful of our surroundings, our impact on other people, other creatures. And I think in all of us there's room for change and growth. And this is one of the ways. So please be mindful of not leaving trash or litter or evidence that you were here, especially nature, but anywhere. So my friend Karen found this bag up here, which is great because now I have a litter bag. Not great that someone dropped it up here, but it was almost as though the mountain was saying, oh, here's someone willing to help clean me up a little bit. And so for me, what the Bristlecone Pines give to me and this beautiful atmosphere is just the stillness where all you can hear is the wind and the spaciousness and just the reverence of these incredible, beautiful, ancient creatures. There's something about being here that just shifts me into a softer version of myself, into my best self. It's a state of reverence, really. And that's why this place is so important to me. And I want to make people aware of it so that maybe areas like this or these ancient creatures could do the same for you, and also to provide education to the public about that these places exist and how completely beautiful they are and how they need to be protected. So now I'm just a little ways down the road and I'm sitting at the base of one of the older bristlecone pines alongside the road. And it's just beautiful. It's a living work of art. I'll tilt the camera up so you can see it's got these old strips of gnarled and resiny and twisted bark interspersed with this living tissue that's still producing pine cones, which is how they reproduce, of course. And it's just beautiful. It's unspeakable to be able to sit at the base of this living organism that's been here for thousands of years. And you can see behind me what a work of art it is, just the textures and the folds, and they're testament to what it survived that I couldn't survive. Most things couldn't survive, but here it is, one of the oldest living creatures on Earth. I think for me, part of how these trees help me connect with my best self is that I'm connecting with them as living beings, as ancient and just beautiful and irreplaceable living beings. And that helps me get out of myself. And we protect what we love, right? Here's how we can help protect these unique and amazing trees in their habitat. Most of these suggestions will also hold true for many other sensitive habitats. There's being mindful of the things we already mentioned here, such as not littering, staying on trail, and not walking or driving off the trail because this causes erosion damage. Today, the main threat facing these and many other amazing organisms is climate change. For bristlecones, as the climate warms, it becomes more hot and humid, making them more vulnerable to parasites, pests, and other diseases. A book I have on bristlecones mentions that scientists have found ancient strands of them which all died suddenly at once during previous climate change, so they are sensitive to it. Counteracting climate change is a whole nother video, but for now suffice it to say that reducing fossil fuel use, including animal agriculture and other damaging industries, is right up there. Please post your thoughts and suggestions below as to how we can all help preserve these beautiful trees for millennia to come. Thank you for watching this video. If you would like to support my work of getting this information out into the world, you could subscribe to receive notification of future videos. You could contribute to my Patreon account to support this channel, and of course, please feel free to share this video with others. Take care. Until next time, be well.